Hello, it's me, and we're back with Skyblock. Woo woo woo! Yeah, so I'm excited about more Skyblock. Hopefully my mic cooperates. It's been kind of crummy in Discord. Hey D, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I was just saying my mic has been super crummy in Discord. I'm hoping that's a Discord thing and not a mic thing. I do have a new mic coming that I'm very excited about, but I didn't want to wait to stream Skyblock before or until it came because I've been grinding. Okay, good. The off-camera grind has been real strong. Like hyper focus on Skyblock has kicked in like whoa. So also let me know if the music is too loud or soft. I tested before. I tested last stream like 8 times to make sure the music wasn't too loud, and when I listened back it was absolutely too loud. So, let me know on the music. But anyway, Skyblock. So a lot has happened. So I don't even remember what was here the last time I streamed. I probably should have looked. Like, I think I had a tree farm out that way. And I think there was a whole, like, moment in the tree farm where I had, like, decided to do, like, little, like, bridges to islands over here with, like, each different type of wood. And then I changed my mind. So, I don't think anybody even saw that except me. Because it was over here, and I've moved it temporarily here. So, yeah. I have a pig. This pig has really confused me. Because I thought they only spawned on grass. And I was, like, grinding cobblestone over here. And I turned around, and he was just here. And I was like, hello? And I thought maybe I had let the pig that had spawned over here out. I mean, I guess he must have spawned on this block. Because I have this block out here as like an emergency block in case something happens in here. Like the sheep goes nuts. But look at this. I've got 2 cows, which is really exciting. I was really hoping for another sheep to spawn. And then this pig. Which I thought the other pig... Oh! Sorry. I thought... the other pig was this pig, but it's not. I have 2 pigs. So, I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Eat some grass, you'll be fine. So anyway, peaceful mobs are happening. I'm just letting this guy wander. He's just wandering around. So the stuff that's left, here's the cobblestone grinder. My storage was getting out of control. So finally I was like, all right, I just have to, I have to start the storage room. And then I was like, okay, storage room time. And then I started and was like, I should be streaming this. This is like, there's so much progress I did while I wasn't streaming. In fact, this hasn't been streamed, but look, I've got a mob farm. Like when I say I have been hyper focused on Skyblock, I'm not joking. Like, Skyblock has happened. I'm now, I guess, officially spawning those guys. Oh my. In the water thing down. Now that I've covered it more, it assumes it's a cave. So this is a mob farm design that Pixel Riffs used in his 1.16. Oh! Wait! That's a zombie villager. We've got a zombie villager. Hang on. Okay. Oh, crap. Okay, so we punch, and we punch, and we... Ow! Oh, that guy has thorns! And we punch, and we punch. Okay, so we've got to be really careful here that we don't get blown up, because it has happened a couple times. Alright. Come on. Oh no! I didn't mean to hit that guy. I hope his leather boots have saved him. Stop moving back and forth. You guys are killing me. Oh my gosh, you guys suck. Okay, thanks. I can't see, so thanks for that. You... Okay, that's what I was trying to avoid. Ow! Thorns! Oh my gosh, stop. This is such a tricky... Oh. Because if I'm too close, like this is why I've got this here. If I'm too close, the creepers can see me and they will explode. It has happened. Everything has been preempted by the need for this zombie villager to survive. This is the 5th zombie villager I've had, and I've only been able to get one of them. So, this is very tricky. Okay. Good. Excuse me. Alright, no creepers, no creepers, no creepers. Get out of here. Ow. Need to eat. Quick. There we go. Okay. All right. I hope this guy has picked... Is he holding something? No. Oh, he's got more armor on. That's great. Okay, so what we need to do now... Oh, he does. He's holding something. Yes. That's huge! That's huge! Oh my gosh, I'm so happy! Oh, that's such good news. Okay, so he's holding an arrow and he's holding... I'm so happy. Yo. Okay, that is huge. I've been trying to make that happen for days now. Okay. Super great. All right, so now we gotta do... Here. Gotta continue to do this carefully. I've had one attempt at getting a second zombie villager just get blown up by a creeper, and then they like flood out, so you have to like... I mean, the only good news is that they're like one hit, so you can punch them as you try to like run for your life. We got some boots. Ooh. The durability isn't even that bad. That's pretty good. Let's see here. To continue breaking. Oh, okay. Did you hit each other? Excuse me, guys. Oh, that could have been real bad. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to hit him with that. Everybody. Alright, this means we really need to go to the nether. Anyway, so that was completely sidetracking. Okay, anyway, this is a 116. I watched Pixel Riffs start a Minecraft Skyblock world on 116. And this was the mob farm design he used. And I was like, oh, that's great. I can do that. No. That looks great. So great. And he, like, lava cast down to 0, which, of course, is, like, lower. Or not... The world limit's a lot lower now. But I brought it down to 0. It was fine. Because that's up... that's, like, 62, I think. Built it out, and it used pathfinding, mod pathfinding, to get them down here. Oh my gosh, it's another zombie villager. You've got to be kidding. How? I want that. He was holding a block. I mean, there's no reason not to try to get it. Tell me I have another pickaxe. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay. I'm just trying to explain how progress and zombie villagers are just leaping out of what is happening. Okay, well, I have slabs, so I guess that's fine. We're doing slabs. Anyway, so it's a 116 farm. Great. Totally, that's fine, I guess. Except 116 doesn't have those guys, right? And so it's also a glow squid farm. Like, it's a problem. It's an incredibly productive glow squid. Like, look at this. Look. They hadn't been spawning in this, but until I built the bigger island. But yeah, they're spawning. Look how many of these I already have. And it's because they think it's a cave. Like, this is so low down. So I didn't anticipate that problem when I built it. Otherwise, it's like really productive. I got all the the string I needed to build a bed like pretty quick. We've got bows. We got. I mean, look at all the. It's great. I got 2 pieces of iron out of it already, which I used to make shears so that I could shear the sheep, and I could shear a jack-o'-lantern so that when the time comes, I can make reusable. I can make a snow golem to make a reusable, or to get renewable snow blocks. Which I got because I did bridge out to the spruce island. So that's the only island I've done off stream. But I just wanted spruce because I wanted to build the what's it called? The storage, and I didn't want to use one type of wood. So stop. Okay, we need to eat. So at some point, we can, if I get more iron, we can convert this to... Oh, these creepers are gonna get me killed. I wonder if there's a way to do it not from there. Like what? 1, 2. So like here. You don't want to get seen, because especially if the creepers see you on the way down, they will blow up on the way down. Like they don't care. There we go. Ooh, this is a much better method than what I was doing before. Okay, fantastic. So anyway, I accidentally made a glow squid farm, and so that needs to be dealt with. I'm watching Gemini Tay, her recent stuff for Skyblock. She just like posted episode 2, and she's actually where I found a Skyblock map that I was excited about. Okay. Now we need boat number 2. Can I sneak out around it? Great. Okay. Hello. Get in the boat. Oh my gosh, this is so fantastic. I cannot believe that I just came down to show the mob farm and we got immediately 2 zombie villagers. That's bonkers. I have had so much trouble getting them up to this point. Okay, let's just... There we go. Oh, a witch just fell. You can hear that. Hopefully it's loud enough that you can hear that too. Oh, that's not the right chest. Okay. I'm so frazzled now. What the heck? Didn't I just have... Oh, they went there. My brain. Okay. So let's grab. Also have bow and arrow net, like constant source of bows and arrows. They're obviously not enchanted. I have a couple enchanted ones, but I can't combine them, and their durability is shot. But they're there. So more iron. Oh, iron! Oh, that's so exciting. Okay, let's put that in the extra nice box. Okay, cackler. You can hear the witch cackling in there. Relax. Okay. So now I need to, once again, break things. That's not really high enough. Alright. Up. Okay. Okay. Alright. Oh my gosh. This is terrifying. Okay. That works! Okay, that's how we're doing that in the future, because the way I was trying to do it just does not. Anyway, so once we get enough iron, which probably means a iron farm, I'm gonna want to put hoppers and like campfires under here, because that will really turn this into like hands-off mode. I'll just get the drops constantly. Ooh, that is fantastic, because I think that is actually, for some reason, the first spider die I've gotten somehow, which is incredibly important if we want to cure villagers. So I've got these guys from witches as well. Ooh. We got some armor. Okay. Like, look how quickly I just get stuff. And some of it's kind of junk, but like when you have nothing, junk's pretty good. So, sorry, I keep looking over to check my camera angle because I feel like it's off because I'm actually standing at my desk right now because my back is just like, it was not feeling the sitting down to start the stream. So I feel like I'm a little off. And when I like tend to stand at my desk, I tend to like wiggle around. So I keep trying to make sure I'm not moving too much. Okay, well that was incredible. Amazing amount of progress just happened, incredibly suddenly. So that's super great. This angle didn't change, but it feels like it did. That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna make it uneven and just do this because this is bugging me. Okay, into the void. Look out. There we go. All right, that's better. It's uneven, but it's better. So let's just even it up over here. Ugh. I hate opening that hole into the void. It is absolutely horrifying. Alright, and then... Oh, I hit my start menu button. My bad. Alright, just pop that there. Okay. Alright. And like, look, the spawn rate is so good. I think my, like, useless, creeper farm on the realm, where at my jungle base, like, I should just convert it into this mob farm. Like, even if it's only one arm of this, I could probably get that to fit. That's still better than the uselessness that it is right now. So, and I could get rid of all the redstone, even though I'm really proud of like how far I got with it. Like, it's pointless. Like, it just does not work. I would get more like with mixed mobs. And actually, I could make it not mixed mobs just by putting trapdoors on the ceiling. And just use their pathfinding. So, that's a great idea, actually. So I'm probably going to redesign that the next time I hop onto that. Look at them, they're so beautiful. Okay. And they aren't despawning. I was worried because, yeah, the mini creeper farm is just so depressing. The really exciting part is that these guys aren't despawning in boats because I can't remember if it was on stream or not, but I slapped a couple wandering traders in boats up there that had spawned because they had good trades. And they just vanished out of the boat after like 3 nights. So I don't know if that's actually like normal Minecraft thing or if I thought they would stay, but they did not stay. So that is a full durability chain helmet. That's amazing. That's so good. The other big thing that happened is my first death. I was building, like, again, the big island, and I was filling a hole, and I thought I was holding my crouch button, and I was holding my sprint button instead, and I just tipped off into the void. It was horrifying. I hated it. It made me sick to my stomach, and I was dead. So, all right. Protection 2. I can't combine those right now. These here. I'm gonna top that off. Oh, that's so exciting. Cool. All right. So I think actually what we need to do is bridge out to get the chest in the storage room, and then bridge out to the mushroom island because I need to be able to make fermented spider eye, and then we're gonna have to get to the Nether somehow. Because I don't know if any of the other islands have gravel or not. But we need gravel to do this the easy way. The hard way is we're gonna have to like trick it. Okay, that's why I felt like I was streaming. Yeah, when they disappeared. So somebody saw it at least and can attest to the fact that they just vanished. So this is enough durability. Let's put on some clothes, I guess. I'm beautiful. Okay. They just keep falling. Like I could sit here and murder them, and they never stop. That's another iron ingot. Oh my gosh! Meow, 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 meow. Oh, that's so exciting. And then you can see it's got the little corners out, so you can like suck things up through the blocks. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I keep wanting to just keep farming it. Look at these leather boots. Because they just keep coming. But anyway, at some point, I probably need to switch and build a mob farm up instead of down because I don't need this. Like I don't need those to be spawning. So what we really need, what is critical, is going to be getting those guys cured. That's going to be so important. So now we have the spider eye. We need mushroom. We need a brewing stand, which all means nether. And that's going to be terrifying. So we may want to grind until we get another pair of gold leggings. Like, we're going to need some gold, because I'm not going to be able to take a fight. I'm going to be honest. Like, look how they just spawn so much. You can see them, like, sticking through the... It's wild. But as you can see, the island is expanded. So I kind of like the idea of having this sort of like lozenge shaped island with like a central circular park. Right now, creatively dubbed Central Park. Then on this end, since the mob grinder's down this way, I was gonna do so farms to be in keeping with that area, and then like industrial district. Quote, I just did air quotes, like you could see my hands. District, kind of here. So you know, cobblestone and stuff like that. Generator. So we'll move that. Then we can have like a path coming out of the central little park area. That'll go up in here. Ideally, I would like to have a walkthrough, so you could just like come out here, but I may not do that. Like I may make you go around to go out that way. That was centered, right? Okay, good. Because it's convenient to have. I'm rebuilding the storage room I have on the Millionaire SMP the server because it's so good. It's just it's such a good one. So there'll be 4 chests stacked 3 high here. And then at the back of that, there's like mini auto smelters. So I actually might extend it. So that I can put them to the side here so that this stays bigger. So it's just like you walk right through it. And eventually what I want to do is cover this whole place in like dirt and courtyards and stuff. So it's 2 cobblestone deep right now, which is a lot of grinding. Yeah, I did steal your barrel. It's such a good idea though. Like they look so nice and they're so good for overflow. Like it looks more finished. You can like chuck stuff that doesn't really fit into the chests, but kind of does. So yeah, they look nice. Of course, it's like a cave with wood. Hey, buddy. It's a cave with wood on the SMP. So this is gonna be like stone is pretty precious. So like the bottom row is gonna be stone, but then the rest, and like maybe one more row, but the rest is gonna be wood. But keep in mind, like this row of cobblestone here, it will be ground level, so like there won't be a step up. This will be dirt out once we really can start generating more dirt. So like this is the actual ground height. Like this will be ground. And what I want to do here is build like a little fishing pool in Central Park and have this be like a little rocky boulder that like trickles down into a pool. So we'll probably just be able to do the shape right now at some point, and then like at the edge of the pool you'll still be able to go down here. And I think what I want to do here is have it just be sort of like a hidden cave. So I'll actually make it look like a cave at some point, and we can maybe put like uber valuables, or who knows, we could put the mushroom farm down here. I don't know. Or we could turn it into a lush cave. That would be really fun. So we'll have like a little lush cave down there, like a little grotto that you can like swim down to. And I think that will be nice. So I think what I'm going to do, and then there will be a village here, because we're going to need to be able to convert. And by village, I don't know if the villagers will actually be there or not, or like I'm gonna have to transport them up there, so I don't know. Originally the village was gonna be over here, but I wanted the tree farms on this side. Anyway, I've been thinking a lot about this island, in case you can't tell. So I've got these guys marking out the center points. This guy is off. I'm so sad. So it's gonna bug me. So I'm actually gonna move this over by, let's see, center would be 1, 2, center 1, 2. So we have to move it over by 3. So that sucks. At the moment, I'm just letting them hang out. I want to get enough eggs that I can safely assume that I'm gonna get a chicken with them. So I can kill the chicken, because I really want another sheep. One sheep is just not going to do it. The rest of these, I don't care. I didn't want to kill the pig. But now there's a second pig, and he's just chilling. So, who knows? Oh, the other thing I'm doing... Oh, I've got extra arrows. Okay, well, go there, I guess. Is I'm centering this road, which was also uncentered. I've been in the middle of that and I keep getting sidetracked, so I've just been taking out slabs over here. So yeah, that's a lot. There's a lot happening. I think if I can, I'll finish up this pickaxe on this, and then I will get the I keep wanting to say barrels, the chests into the storage area, move the storage there, and then we'll bridge out to the mushroom place. The one problem with like all the planning I've done for my island up to this point is I don't know where I want to put the nether portal. I figured that out, because we gotta do that, and it's not moving. I don't have diamonds, so that is a problem. Because if I don't have a diamond pickaxe, where I put it is just where it's gonna be. So I kind of need to come up with a design and a whatever. Because what I'd like to kind of do is build up that center point a little bit with like that boulder and sort of like a hilly park area that's mostly a circle. And then have it like go flatter around the edges. And then I'm going to build like a little enclosed circle of like another, like a little balcony of wood around the whole thing. It's kind of the goal. Because I think that would be cool. And then it can stay pretty small. And if we want, like if I want to just keep grinding this world, I can then start expanding these islands closer instead of the center out. And then maybe eventually we like absorb them like an amoeba, but I think that will be cool. I don't actually know. I haven't paid attention. I should check the next time I'm out there, like to understand how big the biome area around it is. Like, is it actually just the size of the island? Or if like I build out the island, is it going to be bigger? You know what I mean? I haven't read anything about this world, so I don't know if I'm limited to these. I'm assuming there's like an what are they called though? Where the end portal is. What are those called? Why can't I think? I'm assuming there's one of those out there, like outside of render distance, that you have to bridge out to so you can get to the end. But like, there's no cave biomes here. So like, where do I get moss and stuff? Is that a thing I can get? I don't know. So I don't know. Okay. The cobblestone is so noisy when I run across it. Like it makes my brain hurt. So I'm excited to start using other floor patterns. Like this is my brain like sighs in relief when I stand on top of this. It's like, oh, thank God. So All right, so what we say? We wanted to bridge out. Oh, did I get totally sidetracked? Oop, I don't even have a... For Pete's sake. I don't even have cobble. I left it down there. All right, well, we gotta go down there and get the cobble. Like, oh wait, no. I think I placed an emergency pickaxe in case I did this to myself. I did! I'm so smart! Good job, past me! I kept getting into situations where I'd use my last pickaxe and like you break my pickaxe and have used my last cobblestone, so I couldn't pick it back up, and like I did the thing. I was like, emergency pickaxe here. And as soon as I have 3 more, I have to replace the emergency pickaxe. Alright. Like, I had to expand this and it's in my way. Alright, so we replace the emergency pickaxe. And it goes in here. Alright, great. Okay, I think I'm ready to sit down. Let's see. This is gonna do weird things. So, actually, I should probably just hide it. One sec. Be right back. I mean, technically, I'm still here. You just can't see me. Because I don't know what that camera's gonna do when I move. The view on this camera, on the iPhone, is so much narrower than my webcam. So, it's, it wigs out a little bit when I'm doing stuff. Alright, is it still tracking me? How do we feel good about that? We recenter myself. Thank you very much. And then we bring me back. Woo! I'm back! Well, alright. Excuse me. Alright, so if we're going out... Oh wait, I said we were gonna... Oh! I had cobblestone right here. It's fine. Not mad. Okay, I said we were gonna move stuff first, didn't I? Alright. I'm trying to remember the organization. On the Techno, or the Millionaire SMP. When I first turn in here, the adventure stuff is here. These are more, I think these are blocks. The super fancy stuff is kind of here because it's close to the smelters. I think it's like adventure, farming and animals. Something here. Is it only 3 across in that? Did I put an extra thing? I might put an extra thing. Oh yeah, would you? That'd be super. Just gonna put this in here. Boop. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right. We're just getting everything in here. Everything in. Everything in. That can come out. And that can go in. There we go. Did I get everything from that? I guess I did. Do I want them? I think I actually want this to open the other way. I'm that picky. We're going to be looking at it side on, and I'm like, no, what if we opened the other way? It's a problem. All right. And then... boop. 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 go. Beautiful. Ah! Oh! Hello, pig. Okay. Yeah. Like, if I'm in the entrance and I turn right, this guy? Is it 3 tall? Or 2? Okay, that's what I thought. At least I got that right. I couldn't find my screenshots either. That was the problem. I think the left side is probably actually going to be more important because I've kind of filled in the right as we went. So can you start on the left? Okay, great. This is a science. We're doing great. So I think this one's a boat because that's the adventure chest. Top left. Yep. Okay. Okay, yeah. So hostile mob drops. And is it? Okay, that's equipment, like weapons, and tools. And then the boat would be the adventure chest, which is like a go bag. Like if I was gonna go out roaming, I would just grab a boat and like extra torches and so that's the go box. Because when you have places to roam, your drops and the things you need to roam are like right inside the doors, so you can just go. Okay, leather. So hostile mob drops, peaceful mobs drops, armor. Okay, makes sense. Bottom has a lantern? That is something I must have changed recently. When you open, is it like light blocks? Or frog lights in there? Cobwebs, candles, item frame, stolen. Okay, so that's a decor box. That's interesting because I thought the decor box was over here. But I must have rearranged it fairly recently. Yeah, so decor. Interesting. So hostile mobs, weapons and tools, go box, peaceful mobs, armor, decor, I guess, interior decor. Then at the top of this one, I think this is the farming and animals column, if I remember correctly. Pufferfish, yeah. So the wool, is it like my colored wool? I did rearrange this recently, which is why I'm all thrown off. Yeah, so it would be colored wool, potentially carpets and banners, maybe. Banners might be somewhere else. Golden apple in the middle is like cooked food. Pufferfish at the bottom are animal-related things that aren't necessarily peaceful mob drops. So like saddles, fish, and axolotls. I think like leads would be in there. That makes sense. Bee nests would go in there. Yeah, yeah. So that's the animal box. And then I guess this one would be farming then. Probably where I have the seeds and things at one point. Dyes, makes sense. Middle is wheat, yeah, so that's the farming. Bottom is crafting table, which are like village type blocks. So things I would put in a village, either the workstations or like the bell, or I put crafting tables and stuff in there too. Okay, that makes sense. This is like bucolic and adventuring. Okay, great. And then I think the wood starts here, if I remember correctly. This may seem super picky, but like, yes, okay. Yes, okay, that makes sense. That's the wood one. This may seem super picky, but I have discovered on the realm where I did a totally different storage room just because it happened that way. It's actually quite difficult for me to remember where things are. Because this is the layout I'm used to, so it's a problem. All right, so top, all the saplings, middle is planks, stairs, things like that. Bottom is the actual logs. Yep. Leaves, yep. Middle is a door, so that would be like miscellaneous wood items like buttons, doors. Bottom, flowers. Okay, yep, that makes sense. This is going to be so useful when I watch this back later. Forget you guys being entertained. This is important. Redstone, yep. Spyglass is, I think, lesser loot. Bottom is potions, makes sense. We're gonna sleep. So lesser loot is like interesting things, but like it's like the difference between a precious and semi-precious gemstone, right? Like it's the semi-precious loot. Okay, rails. Okay, so that's the rail box. Middle is the diamond, which is like precious loot, and then iron ingot is going to be the metals, which will be iron, gold, and copper. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And then because this box is there because there's gonna, this is where I would put, this is where the smelters are, the iron smelters. And then this side is where the regular, I just want to say stove. That's not what it's called. Oven? No, what is that thing? Furnace. Furnace, blast furnace. That's what it is. Okay. My brain. It's a good thing I'm off. It's because I'm off on Monday too, so I've already had like 3 days off. This is my 4th day. My brain is fully on like not comprehending mode. Okay, so that, yes, that is correct. That was complicated by the fact that I had rearranged this fairly recently and then hadn't been on to use it since. So I was like, what? What is that box doing? But yeah, that makes sense. Because the great thing about this storage room is that it's actually not that big, but you can jam so much stuff into it. Like just so much stuff. Yeah, that's fine. Lay it on me. Especially with the overflow barrels, which again, Dee, thank you for teaching me that trick. It's really, really useful. So, hi buddy. Look at his little nose wiggle. I love this resource pack. Look at it go. Look at it go. Okay. Yep. Lay it on me. We vibing. We vibing. Cobblestone, grass block, sand. Okay, yep. I think this is where like the ground blocks and stuff start. Because the grass block will be grass, dirt, potentially coarse dirt, like all the types of dirt, unless I No, it should work because I have shulker boxes there. So like, yeah, it's the dirt one. Yep, makes sense. This sand I think is sand and gravel, but I may have had to expand into a gravel only chest. Stone, mud, gravel. Yeah, okay, I have a gravel only chest. Yep, okay. That makes sense. So yeah, these are all the kind of ground blocks. Chiseled stone. Yep. And bricks, I'm assuming. Middle dripstone. Yep. Bottom diorite. Okay, good. This will be like granite will be in this column. Some of the other stuff. That makes sense. It's all coming back to me. The method to the madness. I don't know this song, but I'm gonna sing along with it. So fun how little my mouth can get now. Okay, cobbled deep slate, amethyst, smooth basalt. Okay, great. Can you pop that amethyst chest? I think the calcite's in that chest too. Or is it just amethyst? No. Or calcite may have its own thing over here, actually. Okay, great. Yeah, so those bottom two are like the stuff you get out of amethyst geodes. That makes sense. So granite is... Actually, granite's probably in the chest with the diorite, now that I think about it. That's probably both of them. Because over here is where I start getting into glass, nether, and... Yeah. Dried kelp block. Do I have a whole chest of dried kelp blocks, or did I put other stuff in there? Was I gonna build with it? I'm trying to decide why I made that decision. Because that has not always been there. Endstone bricks. Skulk colored terracotta. Okay, great. Makes sense that the terracotta and the clay is next to each other. There's a method to my madness. Why have I done that? Possibly, I mean, I did still have a couple empty chests. I wonder if I'm just using that as a placeholder, but I really should have left the frame empty. Okay, well, past me. Thanks for being confusing. Glad you did that. Unless somebody else came and stuck the kelp block in the empty item frame, which is possible, because I could see someone randomly doing that and it just being incredibly confusing for me. Unless I planned on doing... You know what? I may have planned on trying to build with kelp blocks, and in that case I would have needed a bunch. That's fine. Okay, so we're on column 7. I think this is where like the nether stuff kicks in and the end stuff. Nether brick, snow, red sand. Ooh, I don't like that the red sand is so far away from the regular sand. I mean, who knows? I may not even get red sand. But I may change that on this one. I think it was because I didn't have any red sand, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I need a place for this to live, and it ended up here. Because the only downside of this storage area is that, like, in my brain, the relationship of all these chests makes sense. warp stem, mushroom blocks, prismarine. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that all makes sense. And I keep saying that because like the relationship of all these things makes sense to me. And so when you have too much of something or something needs its own chest, it actually, like, I end up having to reorganizing more than otherwise because I'm like, oh no, that makes sense to be where it is. So I have to move all kinds of things because the stuff that's related to the stuff that's going in has to move too. Okay, you know what else we need to cure the villagers? I was thinking about potion. I've got apples, but I don't have gold. So that's actually, we could get that in the nether too. I hope. Did I just put a... I did. Okay, so we're kind of like in this area and then this area. And I guess, you know, if I wasn't using cobblestone as fast as I could mine it, we'd be having some chests here. But we're kind of in like the basic areas and then we'll like get to the more advanced blocks towards the back. And again, I don't even know if those blocks are available. I'm assuming there's a way to get every block in the game at this point. Was there a place that had a moss block? Or was it the flowers? I'm trying to think. Where was I storing my moss stuff? I definitely reorganized it in the not distant past because I don't remember. Okay, it's probably in the flower one. Okay. Okay. I think we said stone was here. Alright, well for now, you're gonna go here. Sleep. Okay, that's exciting. Thanks, Dee. That was really helpful. I'm gonna watch that VOD 80 times while I work on that stuff. I think I have these in the floor, actually. That's not the worst thing ever. I flipped that around the wrong way already. That's... I like changed my mind on the opening direction immediately. That's obnoxious. I knew I had another one, right? Oop. Oh yeah, that'd be great too. Thanks. Put it in Discord. All right. I changed my mind. I don't know why I thought I wanted it that direction. This is like, welcome to my brain. It gets it's hard in there sometimes. Okay, great. Okay. We're gonna need those. And actually we said wood was here. Yep. did I use it to do that and then like walk away? What is wrong with me? Alright, this is actually the one where I'm like, this is what I've been eating here. Alright. Ooh, it's gonna be so good. Fantastic. Okay. Oak. And I finally started sorting my wood this direction because it actually fits. So once they add bamboo blocks, bamboo's gonna have to get its own chest. Okay, and then we said, okay, so logs went in here. Okay. Yes, this makes sense. Like this. And so then these are in the same order. As the saplings. No, I just put those in the wrong chest. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Like this. It's beautiful. Isn't this exciting? Watching me sort chests? It's amazing. Okay. You've never been so riveted by content. Okay. Amazing. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. I'm not going to fill up every single one of these immediately, but the wood needs to get filled in. Okay. Leaves, and this was the miscellaneous stuff, which would be like these. The only problem with like sorting things this way, actually I think I sorted this way too. The only problem with sorting things this way is like it doesn't fill this way. You have to like, so you have to be intentional about how you store them. Okay, anyway, so that is the beginning of our storage room. This is amazing. That has cleared this area off perfectly. Fantastic. I'm gonna leave this by the farm for now until, why am I so laggy all of a sudden? Is it the mob farm? Is it because I'm directly above the mob farm? Are they close enough to be spawning right now? It's 128, isn't it? So yeah, they're probably spawning. Hello. Maybe I should do an automatic kill at the bottom so they're not... Or I could go cut some holes in it so that they're not spawning. We'll see if it gets really bad. All right. Let's go to the island. I hate this part so much. Because we gotta get those zombie villagers sorted out. All right, so we're gonna do a step up. So that... just... I hate that. Thank you. Amazing. So that it doesn't spawn anything. I hate this. I hate it so much. We're crouching for our life. This stresses me out. I will say, this is still a problem for my fear of, like, I am so stressed out when doing this. I feel better on the island now because it's big. And like, I'm not constantly close to an edge, but when I have to do this, it's horrific. My hands are still so sweaty. And I've tried really hard to make sure that guy looks kind of like a maple leaf. I've worked so hard to make sure that I'm not ever carrying anything I shouldn't be. Yeah, except I just remembered something. Okay. Oh, whoops. Woo! Sometimes I accidentally hit Q, and that is really a problem in Skyblock. Okay. What I want to do... Look at me relearning all my chests. And sticks. Where do sticks go? Hello? There. More of that somewhere. I think it's in here right now. Yeah. Okay, what I want to do is take a chest and some things over there so that I can basically put a little seed vault on each island. Like if you look over there, you can see the crafting table. On top of the crafting table, there's a chest, and there's like a spruce sapling. The pumpkin was over there, so there's a couple pumpkin seeds over there, and some sweetberry seeds. That way, there's no chance of me dropping something like that into the void. Like it's not coming back with me. It is just there. And like I regrew the spruce tree over there. Mushrooms respond to bone meal? I don't know. I don't think they do. But I regrew the spruce tree over there so that A, it still looked nice, but B, like there's still a source over there. So essentially every island is like a little seed vault of its biome. So I can't possibly fall into the void with everything. So that's kind of was my strat, because the pumpkin came from over there too. And there were enough snow carpets over there for me to get 2 blocks of snow, which I have. There were enough like snow carpet, snow whatever. I got enough snowballs for that. With a pumpkin, I have the means now to set up the renewable snow source. Now that I know where the farms and stuff are gonna be, I'll make a little place for the golem in the industrial district. Is it getting dark? Oh my gosh. Why? I just want to go! Now I've got to go sleep so I don't wander into mobs. I just want to go! This is the center of the island, in case you wondered. Okay. Take 3. Thank you. Your help has been invaluable. I hate single block wide bridges into oblivion. Like, it's terrible. Hey, my sky's pretty though. The resource pack is ballin'. Good job, Sky. Alright, we turn around. I hate this. I don't even know if I have enough cobblestone slabs. If I don't, we're gonna have to mine cobblestone. Then you're gonna just have to watch the grind. But yeah, I have really been enjoying this. I enjoy early Minecraft a lot. And like building things up and stuff like that. And sorting storage and acquiring stuff. So I really am enjoying Skyblock. I like the challenge that comes with... you know, not having resources easily available. So like being in the void for the sake of my horrible fear of heights. I wish it was just like surrounded by ocean or like glass or anything other than just falling into the void. I mean, the complication and like the need to then manage well, like what you're carrying on you and the risk of losing like I get why. It's incredibly fun as a challenge, but like my hands are so sweat. Like I hate bridging into the void a lot. Like I'm very slow at it because it freaks me out so bad. So I probably will never be logging on to Hypixel to play Bed Wars. I cannot imagine being okay with that. That sounds awful. Like I would like to want to play that, but no. Like even when I run out of a block and I have to move over, like that animation of swinging with an empty hand, it's a change from the status quo to the extent that I feel like I'm falling off. Which is bonkers, because this is not a realistic game. It's just, it's blocks. It's just squares. We're just cubes. We're just making cubes. And it doesn't matter. The phobia does not care. I don't think I have enough blocks. It cares not. It just thinks everything's terrible. But this is always translated into other games for me. Like even once Mario went 3D and you like had free roam in the world, so it felt like you were the one falling. Like I still have a very vivid memory of playing a Mario Sky level and like screaming and hopping. Like I'm not good at platform, but like screaming and hopping around and like that like nervous cackling laugh when you're like slightly hysterical because you're actually freaked out. Like, yes, it was very loud and rowdy, and I don't know if Poe remembers, but he was there. He witnessed it in person. Like I was struggling. The struggle bus was real. So yeah, video games that are up higher, they're rough for me. But like sudden like altitude shots in movies or like commercials or like yes, they also will do that. Like my stomach will get nauseous. I think I'm still farther out than 27 blocks, but let's see. Let's find out. Oh. I just hate that I have to like go far enough out that it looks like I'm leaning out over the void to be able to place the next block. I think that's what I hate the most. I will say I'm not that afraid of flying. Like I don't love it, but it doesn't trigger in the same way. Like I think part of it is because I am contained. It's this like surrounded by the void feeling that I hate. Like it really wigs me out. Although I will say I've eaten at a restaurant at the top of a skyscraper before, and like they put us next to the window, and it was a problem for me. Like I get this, like my body feels like the floor is tilting towards the edge. So like it's weird. I don't know if anyone else is afraid of heights and feels that way, but who. And then of course there's that French phrase that I can't remember the French, but it means call of the void. And it's that like thing in your brain when you're on like a high bridge or a high ledge or whatever, and your brain's just like, what if you jumped off? And I don't know if that's something everyone experiences, but enough people experience that the French have like a phrase for it. So, yup, that is a thing. And it's not necessarily like I want to throw myself off, but I'm afraid that I will, if that makes sense. Like, And I think that's why it feels like the floor starts tilting towards the edge. I feel like I'm sliding towards it. It's really bizarre. I don't know. Brains are weird, man. But yeah, so I don't like heights. And this stresses me out. Like, D, you know, you were in the call when I fell to my death, and like, I gasped so loud when I went off the edge. Okay, we need more cobblestone. Ugh, it's so nice getting this now that that stupid chest is out of my way. I feel like 2/3 of the cobblestone that I mined, yeah, it was a really loud gasp. Like, like long, not just like a, it was like, like, and my stomach dropped and my heart was like, like my whole body was like, yikes. I felt like I was falling. My brother, when he got his VR headset, we were like messing around with it. He's like, oh, hey. So he was showing me, it had just like some sample stuff to mess around with, and there was like a wizard's workroom and some other stuff. And he's like, oh, hey, you should see this one. And it was like a rope bridge over the void. Like just drops you in the middle of a bridge over like just a chasmy void. And I almost hit the floor. Like, it was too realistic when I was like, that's so funny! He laughed, of course. And I mean, it was kind of funny, but like, it was so upsetting. I was like, okay, but seriously, get me out of here. I don't want to look at this. Like, it is amazing. Well, VR is just kind of wild anyway, because it really does trick your brain into feeling like you're there. But like, it was shocking. Like, yes, I did that whole, there's like a height gasp that I do. And that's what you heard. And that's what I did. And then I was like, like, and the improved tracking actually captures what I did, which was like squat, like you get really wide and you're just like, so that's what happened. And it was bonkers. I think that was the last time I did VR too. Although I think I'd like to get VR myself to do what's it called? Beat Saber. I think that would be fun as like a workout sort of thing, like pseudo workout. Cause I have like a half-finished basement, and I want to do like a hobby area down, like a living room type of situation, but like a hobby area, so like all my yarn and stuff for my knitting and crochet stuff, and then there would be a TV there, and that would be a space that I could set up another, like once I upgrade my computer and stuff to my new graphics card, which I have to buy a new case for because this case is too small. Like, I should be on my new graphics card, but I'm not because the case was too small, so I sold my other one. But I'll still have the old graphics card, which is a 1080, so it might not be good for VR actually. But I'll have the case and like an old card and stuff, so I could run it down there to the TV that my parents are giving me because they want to get rid of it. Because I haven't owned a TV in, I don't know, 17 years. Like, I just use computer and stuff. But if I have one, might as well use it as a big old monitor for games and stuff. So like I could set up my Switch down there and have a second computer using this old case, and that would actually be good because I actually have CD drive in this computer, DVD drive, whatever it's called, because I have a bunch of DVDs and it was important for me to be like able to watch them. So I could move this tower down there with that, and then as I upgrade the parts of my computer into the new case, like whatever comes out of it can just go into the old case. slowly build an old computer that's like good enough to run DVDs and stuff, and potentially VR. We'll see. Because I have a decent computer, so then I could have like the best computer up here in my office, but like slightly lesser computer down there to be hanging out. Because I want to get really comfy couches down there. And then I can also use it as my guest room, because this is a 2-bedroom house, and 1 bedroom is my office. And it's a fantastic office. I love it. I'm so happy I used it as an office, but that means I don't have a guest room. But I do have an extra bed frame, and now my mattress from high school, and from when I guess I got it in high school. I don't know. I don't really know how old it is, but it was a mattress I had. It moved with me from my hometown, which I'm back in, to the big city, about 250 plus miles away. And I moved up there to live with my brother and his wife. They were my roommates for a while. And then they moved to another big city that is closer to hometown, but much farther than hometown is from the big city that I moved to. So they were like, I don't know, 6.5 hours away. Or 6 hours, I guess. No, 6.5. And, I moved in with like our upstairs neighbor, because they needed a roommate, and I obviously needed a roommate because big cities are expensive. But they had a furnished 2nd bedroom already, so I didn't need my mattress to stay anymore, so they took it with them. This is such a boring story, but it's like the saga of the mattress. And it's just been in their spare bedroom ever since. And then my dad was down there with his truck, getting picked up from the airport or whatever, because he was flying out, and they bought a new bed for that with a new mat. Like, they were moving their master bedroom mattress into their guest room, and so then they had this extra mattress again, which was mine, so it boomeranged back to me. So now it's in my basement, and long story short, I can set up like a guest area. So it's really gonna look like a studio apartment down there. Wait, I need to make these slabs, which would be nice. I've lived in studio apartments, I enjoy them. It does mean that I'm gonna have to do something with the incredibly bizarre bathroom situation that's down there. Like, they had the audacity to label it a half bath, but it is not. I mean, it is. It's a sink and a toilet, but it is literally in the middle of the unfinished part of the basement, not enclosed. It's just hanging out there. Like, the audacity. So I'd probably have to like rough it in and stuff and turn it into a room. Why am I going backwards? I was gonna place slabs, but I'm not there yet. But it would be really nice to have a bathroom down there. So someday I'll sort that situation out. They also put the toilet sideways. It's really weird. Like, it is not an intuitive use of that space. It's incredibly bizarre. I actually have a picture of it that I could show that I looked at when I was buying the house. So it's not my stuff in the picture, but I don't know. It would take me a minute to get it in OBS. I could do it, but it's just so funny. But anyway, so I could set up VR down there. I think that would be really fun. If I have a decent enough computer, I maybe could even stream it. But it would be nice to have Beat Saber to like get a little exercise too, especially with it being like winter coming up and stuff. Because there's not quite room for it in my office, because I actually have 2 desks in here, and it's roomy, like it's lovely, but it's not something to be swinging around. Like, if I look, I'm checking to see, I don't know, from my desk to the wall, there's maybe like 4.5 feet behind me. So it's not, maybe 4 feet. So it's not cramped. Like, I don't feel crowded, but I don't feel like I could play Beat Saber over here either. Which is why it'd be nice to set that kind of thing up in the basement. But I also have that Wii game, the like RPG but exercise. What's that called? And it's actually pretty fun. And I need to do that more too. And that would be something I would need to do downstairs. But then I could actually set up. If this is a thunderstorm, I'm going to be so angry if I get struck by lightning. That I could actually set up once I get the TV over here, because I do have my Switch. So that would be pretty cool. To be doing that again. How are we doing here? Alright, we're getting there. I don't know if these are centered on the center point of the original island or not, because I kind of lost the original island shape. So I just went off the center that I picked for my island, and the fact that the islands out here are like off center of that is just hugely upsetting to me. So at some point when I get more dirt, like I have a source of it, I am gonna build these islands out. So that they're better centered. And just to satisfy my sense of the way things should be. Alright. I am gonna yoink the top layer of dirt, but we're gonna have to do it strategically so we don't... Like, we need to let the mycelium grow. Yo! So, like, gold farm or pork? When you say hoglin. You mean hoglins, not piglins, right? Pork chop. Okay, I don't eat pork chops. But that's great. I'm happy for you. I got my semi-auto cow farm. Pocker chop. Sure. I actually kind of like them more than pigs. I don't actually like pigs that much. Like, in IRL either. I don't really think they're cute. So, you know. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Dirt. Yeah, I don't really, I mean, I try not to kill the pigs. I actually don't eat pork like that in real life. I do eat bacon, so it's not like I don't eat any pig products, and I like sausage. But I just don't like... I really only explain my dislike for pork to people that ask, and I always do it with a warning that I don't want them to be put off pork if they actually think I have a point. So I don't know if I want to say what my hang up about pork is or not. Like my IRL hang up. Because it's just a brain thing for me. Like, it really is my brain. Okay, so, you know how in science and ballistics and, like, stuff, and like, forensic and stuff, if they need to test the behavior of a human body in specific situations, they use a pig. Because it's, like, close to human. Like, really close to the way a human body would behave. I can't not think about that when I eat them, and so to me, like, all I can think is that this is what the texture of a human would be, and it weirds me out. That is it. Like, I just feel like I'm eating people and I don't like it. So like a pork chop or a pork steak or whatever. Yeah. Like sausage, like a ground pork or bacon, I'm okay with. I don't really think about it in that context, but yeah. Also bacon's good. So, you know. Okay, we did it. But that's it. That's the story. That's why I don't eat it. You're welcome. All right, so let's set up our little... There's a similar story to why I don't really like mayo. Okay, good, it's bread. I told you it was kind of weird. Alright, so let's get our seed vault situation set up here. Perfect. Did I not pick up? Okay, whatever. Okay. Meh. Yay, more dirt! I don't think I've lost any dirt yet in this world. Alright. Spread! Well, I'd like this to spread one so I can put down a red mushroom. I'm trying to decide how I want to get, like, do I want to do a diagonal so that we have like the spokes of a wheel? Or do I want to do like a box around where... I think I want to do a diagonal. I think the spokes of a wheel would be more attractive. But I could bridge over there, like straight. I wonder if that's sitting on string or if it is on, what's it called? Sandstone. That's so ugly. And you can see the column continue down because it probably goes all the way to build limit down there. But that's coming together. It's so much bigger now. And I like that lozenge shape like that. I guess it's more of an oval than a lozenge because the sides aren't flat, but I do like that shape. I thought it was super big, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe I should have made it bigger. So maybe I'll expand it again. But I've made it too deep because I just can't bear the idea that every time I dig, I'm going to have to look at the void. And it'll be 3 deep when it's done. So it'll actually be, like, these right now are a step up to these bridges, but it'll be a step down. You want to spread? I need to be over here for it to spread, so anytime. I should have left a couple blocks up so that it had more opportunities to spread. Anyway, this would have gone faster, but at least it's touching 4 blocks, so. Alright, well, let's hang out and vibe, I guess, while we stand here. Luckily, I've slept recently, so that I'm not getting attacked by phantoms. But I happen to have a jumbo blueberry muffin. right in front of me. So now that we're just waiting, I guess I'm gonna eat this jumbo blueberry muffin. Ooh, I ate some leftovers. So I ate leftovers obviously yesterday, and I still have a little bit of leftovers today from dinner on Thursday. It was so good. So my family has done this thing for about, I don't know, 6 years now. And obviously there were a couple years now where we didn't get together for Thanksgiving because of the pandemic. And I was far away and I didn't have a car and I wasn't really willing to risk the train at the time to get here or fly. And I don't know how many people noticed this, but there was actually a rental car shortage during the pandemic because of, I mean, there's just a car shortage in general. But it impacted the rental car market. And so it was really hard to rent a car to come as well. So anyway, it's been a while, but we do this thing where everyone makes a dish. My mom gets the pumpkin pies. My dad gets the meat. None of us really like turkey, so he usually does like a steak or something. Or one year it was like short ribs, like beef short ribs. This year it was like flank steak, but it was so good. And then I do a side, and typically my sister-in-law does a side, and occasionally my brother will do a side when he's not being lazy. And so this year, the side I made was Brussels sprouts with pearl onions and bacon. And I had some of that left over. And while I was making it, I was like, wait, I could make a really delicious like hash with this if I have stuff left over. Like hash browns and those mixed together would be really good. And I was like, oh great, I have hash browns in my freezer, just frozen hash browns from when I made crock-pot potato soup a few weeks ago. That's fantastic. So I'll do that the next day, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll put an egg on it, and it'll be great. And then I started making it, and I opened the freezer, and there were no hash browns, and I was like, "But my hash? I have to have this." I was so distressed, and I had already picked up my grocery order earlier in the afternoon. So if I had known it wasn't there, I could have got some, but I didn't. But what I did get, my sister-in-law made a delicious sweet potato casserole, but it was so sweet, and I was like, you know what I want? Savory sweet potatoes. So I had bought a couple sweet potatoes. So yesterday I was like, no, I will not be deterred. I will not be deterred. So I actually grated one of the sweet potatoes. Like I made my own sweet potato hash browns to make this happen. So I did like a Parmesan rosemary sweet potato hash brown situation, and I mixed that other stuff in, the Brussels sprout pearl onion bacon, to make it like a sweet potato hash. And then I put like a runny egg on it, and that's what I had for dinner yesterday, and it was so good. It was so good. Best leftovers. And then today, there's like a whole flank steak left. Well, there were 3, but I took one of them. And so I took half of it and made eggs in a basket, which is like the over easy or over medium. At least I prefer them that way. Eggs in a piece of toast, like you cut a circle in the bread, and you put the holy bread. The holy bread. Why are you not spreading? You take the holy bread and you put it on a skillet or a pan, right, with butter, because yeah. But obviously you do oil. So it's toasting, and then you crack the egg in the circle in the middle. And then once it's ready, you flip it. You can season it, salt, whatever. Egg in a basket, or toad in a hole. I thought they were called that too, but then I think there's actually a specific thing that's different that goes by toad in a hole in the UK, maybe. So maybe that's not what it's called. I don't know. I think we call it both things over here, but I like egg in a basket better than I like toad in a hole. That sounds weird. But yeah, I had those with some of the flank steak for dinner. The breakfast for dinner is just like A+ with holiday grapes. If you've never had a holiday grape, let me recommend holiday grapes to you, even if you don't like grapes. I think regular grapes are kind of meh. They're like pretty flavorless, and like if you don't eat them cold, then they're just like room temperature wet texture. So I'm not really into them. But holiday grapes are so good. They're like end season grapes, so they've been allowed to grow for a very long time. So they're sweeter than normal, and they I think they come from like one vineyard farm, grape orchard. I don't know what you call it because it's not like a winery. In California, but like, so they grow really late, and that's why they call them holiday grapes, because they are harvested at the end of the season, which is in time for the holidays, and then they thin the clusters a little bit, like the grapes on the cluster, so that the grapes themselves, heck yes, are allowed to grow big, like really big. So they're very large grapes, and they're like a not a green grape, they're like a red or purple or whatever you would want to call that. Large, very circular, incredibly sweet. They're so good. Like, they actually have a flavor. Like, they are what you want a grape to taste like when somebody's like, oh, you want some grapes? And I just think for the rest of the year, I'm just kind of meh about grapes. I like these holiday grapes that I have. They're probably the least good batch of grapes because they were pretty picked over. Like, they go really fast. They're probably the least good batch of holiday grapes I've ever had, and they are still 100 times better than a regular grape. Like, I'm not mad at them. I just wish they were better. You know, like, I wish I've had better holiday grapes, but they're still the best grapes I've ever eaten. So if you get holiday grapes around you in the grocery store and you can find them in stock, which is actually difficult, would recommend. They are incredibly good. I get so excited when it's holiday grape time. Holiday grape time. So that's my holiday grape story. All right, I just remembered I'm carrying dirt, so we cannot fall into the void. It is imperative that we do not do that. There's the pig. I'm kind of waiting for him to like wander down to one of the other islands. But he's happy around the center island. I don't even want to turn and look at him. I'm just like, he's there. You can see him. But I'm going straight. Can't stop me. Slow progress. I'm crouching. I wonder if there's a deep dark out here somewhere. Like, I can't see it from here, but I'd be interested to know. I think this is a 119? 118? I don't know. I really should like look up the map again and be like, what's the details on this? Like, what am I supposed to do? Because I didn't read anything. I just jumped in. We made it! Oh, I'm so happy! Oh, so good. Wait, cobblestone. Oh, what a relief. I even have an order that I like to put these blocks in. I like the stairs before the slabs because they're taller. Because you have the regular block, and then it's like the regular block with a notch out of it, and then it's like this has one notch out of it, and this has two. Like, it looks nice like that. I like to keep things organized. It's a problem. I'm only a little bit weird, okay? All right, we brought home 12 more dirt. That is so exciting. See, now I'm looking at this and like, I don't know if I like that it opens that direction. No, we're committing. We're committing. That's what it is. So. I'm so happy. All right, so we've got the mushroom. We've got sugar. Somewhere. Yeah, so we've got sugar. So we could make a actually, let's just make our fermented spider right now. I just saw the sugar. Why are you like this? Um, spider eye. Where was that? I didn't leave it down there, did I? Oh, come on. I think I left it down there. Alright. This is a plant, so we're gonna stick it here for now. We need to start our own pharma for those over here, which we'll probably put down in the cave. But, oh, why am I moving over here? I'm all turned around. Maple leaf farm. Oh, I left a hole in there. Whoops. Hello. There we go. There we go. Yay. All right. That's great news. Just whack something. Give me some gold pants. We need gold pants. My sword. This is why I have this down here. I also have this so we can smelt down some of this stuff as we get more and more of it. So that'll be good. This is so great because we can get someone like once we can. So here's the great thing about this. Once we cure these, we'll probably want a Fletcher, honestly, so that we can, or a farmer. A farmer might be better because we've got a farm, so we can use renewable trades. We can get like a pumpkin farm going. So if we get one with a pumpkin trade or a melon trade, because I'm sure we'll get one of those, we'll be able to get a lot of emeralds. But then if it's a farmer, because with a Fletcher we could get like the stick trade, which is great. But the problem with the Fletcher is that's really all it can do for us. Like we can get some good bows maybe, but eh. But with a farmer we can get golden carrots. So one of them will be a farmer for like ease of trade. Then one of them can be a toolsmith, so we can get like diamond picks and stuff. And maybe the other one can be an armor smith or a cleric, so we can trade the rotten flesh and hopefully get an ender pearl trade. And that would be good. I think armor though, to start. But then obviously we can breed these guys too, so we've got access to all of them. But once we really get emeralds going, we can start trading with the wandering traders that come in. Because I had a wandering trader come by and you could get 8 sand from him, and he was also selling 3 podzol for like 3 emeralds a group. And like that's so good. It's like ground. So yeah, it's really rough when I can't buy those things. I've been really sad. And like somebody had beet seeds and just stuff that I don't have, you know. There was a coral block on one of them, which would have been amazing because then I could have, well, I still can't silk touch them, I guess, but like we at least could have grown sea pickles like that. So yeah, it's important that we start being able to trade with wandering traders. Somebody also had like like they come by with he had like a dark oak sapling, which would have been great. Oh my gosh, it's another iron ingot. It took me so long to get my first iron ingot, like hours. And we've seen like 2 of them fall since I started streaming. That's amazing. Ooh, level. I had like 50 levels when I fell into the void. It was so depressing. But now I'm back up to 30. So then if we can get like a diamond tool, we can pick up, like we can mine obsidian and things like that. So that would be really good. That's enough for a pickaxe. That's incredible. Oh, that's so good. Because we can take that to the nether with us and then we can mine. Although, can you mine the nether gold with a stone pickaxe? I feel like maybe you can. I don't know. I'd have to figure that out. But this is so good. Because we can mine additional stuff. Oh, potato. That's how I got my potato and carrots. So that's great. Let's start combining some bows here. At least I've already lost one bow to the void, but at least, you know, I won't lose all of them. Yeah, this is great. Like the bone meal for this farm, like it's incredible. It's so good. What was I gonna put here? Oh, spider eyes, which like I said, I don't know why I don't have spider eyes. Like a witch dropped one. I don't know, because obviously some spiders are falling. Like why not dropping eyes? Is it maybe an eye is a drop that you only get if you kill the spider, and the string if they fall to their death? Because some of them just fall and die. Some of them I hit, but I've only been getting string from those. I don't know. All right. Full up. Look at all this stuff. Grill. All right. I'm good. All right. Let's get up there with our spider eye. You don't want to die and like catapult it into the void. It's too important. And then we've got to start seriously thinking about how to get to the nether and like where we want. I'm trying to nudge out and breathe without falling to my death. That stresses me out. I really want bubble columns here. I am not gonna lie. All right. At one point I expanded the island and I hadn't quite expanded the torch yet, and I didn't go to bed soon enough. I got jumped by a creeper. It was like I was standing here and got jumped by a creeper, so lava was going everywhere and it was traumatic. So, all right, have we spawned anything new? I'm worried about my mob cat. Oh, hey, that's more chickens. All right, so things are still able to spawn here. That's great. You're not the right thing, so bye. Why? There we go. Give me a sheep. I don't want to have to kill you, pig. So you better hope a sheep happens. That chicken may have to go too. Once I get a couple stacks of eggs. Surely a couple stacks of eggs will be enough eggs to give me a chicken. I hope. Because I don't want to start breeding those guys until... I just threw my sword. I do that a lot. I don't want to start breeding those until I have the, like, bottom level peaceful mobs that I want, because I'm going to fill up my peaceful mob cap. So, alright. So this is a critical... You know what we need? We need our treasures chest. Alright, so treasures chest should be here. That chest. Critical. Critical. Alright, and that chest evolves over time. Like, the most important stuff goes here. And right now it's fermented spider eye. Later it'll be like diamonds and stuff, but right now, critical. Okay. Muffin. Can mushrooms grow on cobblestone? I don't actually know. I think they can grow on regular stone. Where did I put those? Okay. Let's hop down here. They should be able to grow no problem down here because it's dark. I will have to light this up a little bit now because things can spawn. Okay, cool. On these blocks, so is that too bright? That's probably too bright. No one thinks to spawn on this. Okay, hang on. No spawning while I'm gone. I need to turn that into a... cave at some point. That will also make it less scary coming down here. So like, if I put this here... Ooh. What light level does that give me here? Target block 9. That's too high, right? Yeah, look. We're looking it up. Minecraft mushroom growth light level. Google. Mushrooms can be planted and grown on blocks that have a full top surface in light levels below 13 and not directly. Okay, no, we're good. Great. That's totally great then. There we go. Alright, so these are the only things that are spawn-onable. Spawn-onable. So let's just make sure. Light 1. Okay. Alright. Block light 9. Okay, so that should do it. Ooh. Okay. Great. Alright, we got a mushroom farm going. Fantastic. It's not pretty, but it works. Oh, wait. Alright, renewable! We love to see it. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. Now I can see myself. Okay. Alright, so now we gotta sort out this end nether portal situation. Alright, so industrial farms, Central Park, village, quote unquote village, so housing and stuff. So maybe we will actually put this like to the side, right? And this direction will do the nether portal. We'll have to make sure the pig doesn't go through. Okay. I keep looking for blocks here because this is where my blocks are. Okay. So this will be ground level. Do I want it flat on the ground or do I want it up a step? I think okay, I think it's fine like this. All right, so then this will be ground level. Corner. It's only 1, 2. Okay. We gotta do this right the first time because there is no chance to recover these obsidian. Actually, let me put some of our treasures in the other block right now. Where'd I put the rest of that dirt? Where'd I put that dirt? Did I not have it on me when I came back? Where's the dirt I got from the island? I had 12 dirt, right? Oh no. Oh no. What? I'm gonna have to go looking. Did I put it in here already? No. Okay, hang on. We gotta find the dirt first. Don't take the obsidian. I hope it's over there. What time is it? Okay. I'm gonna move this so that I don't have to like work around it. This is the center, but okay. Oh, I'm not crouching. It's terrifying. I hate it so much. I don't like this. This dirt better be over here. If it's not over here, I'm gonna be really upset. Where would I put it? What have I done with the dirt? The dirt? I mean, I didn't throw it into the void, right? Dirt? Oh my gosh, where's that 12 dirt? Where did that dirt go? Where did I put it? If I threw it on the ground and let it despawn, What? Where did it go? This is a crisis. A dirt crisis. Now I'm like running and it's stressing me the heck out. We're sprinting. It's terrifying. I hate this. I hate this. It's getting dark. We're running. Oh my gosh. I'm like frozen on my mouse. I'm not moving at all. It's actually quite difficult for me to run in straight lines. My brother tells me to do that frequently in video games. He's like, just run in a straight line. I'm like, I'm trying! And I don't run in a straight line. Diagonals are especially difficult for me. Okay, okay. Come on now. The dirt's gotta be here somewhere. That was 12 dirt. Okay. 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 It's fine. I put it on the column, like that's the column where the dirt lives in this. Okay. That's fine. Okay. We're committing to this. So, 1, 2, 3. 2. I've already done this wrong. It should be 2. It should be 2. I just did this. I just said we couldn't mess this up. Will it work with 2 tall? Does it have to be? Oh God. I accidentally paused the music. I should not be left unsupervised. That means, I don't know how to get a diamond pick. Oh no. D! What do I do? I don't know what to do. I have one lava source, which means I can get one obsidian. I need dripstone. I could get infinite lava if I had dripstone. Okay, hang on. Let me look up this map. We might have to go on a missionary. A missionary? A mission. We're not a missionary. Okay, so let's see. I can't believe I did that. I can't not go to the Nether. That's how I get the villagers. Like, I have to go. Let me see. Okay, so when did I share this link with you? I will find it. It's somewhere. Oh, maybe not in that one. Was it in this one? I think it was in this one. Oh, Mike. There it is. Okay. Look at the map spoilers. Nether Fortress, Warped Forest, Crimson, Basalt Delta, Warm Ocean, Ancient City. Tropical Fish Dome. Withers drop ancient debris. Moss blocks. Okay, it does have a special loot table. A husk can drop sand. Okay, there's a mansion. There's a witch hut. I'm gonna be so angry. If I don't think it has. I don't think it has dripstone. A wandering trader might sell it, but I don't have emeralds. I can't get emeralds without going to the Nether. Okay, there is an ancient city. Okay, dripstone to make a lava farm. The watering trader will sell pointed dripstone. You can get emeralds for trading by either curing villagers or by making a fox farm. I forgot that that was a thing. Oh god. So here's the question. Do I want to try to save the island? And build a fox farm on the off chance that some wandering trader is going to come in with dripstone and just live here without villagers until I can get that. Or do I restart? Because, I mean, I just have the big cobblestone disc. Because I don't think I have... I don't think I have... let's see. Op? Is that what I would need? Or cheats on? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I think I would have had to make the world, right? Because I would just give myself obsidian at this point. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't know what to do now. I'm gonna have to think about this. I've been going 2 hours, which is what I intended. Oop. I didn't mean to quit game. I was gonna hop to the world. Oh well. Haha. So I guess what I'm gonna do is end stream, look up a fox farm for Skyblock, see how difficult it's gonna be, and decide if I want to restart. I've put so many hours into this already. Actually, yeah, I'll check later to see how many hours. Okay, what about this? If it's over 50 hours, I'll bake the fox farm. And if it's under 50 hours, I'm gonna restart. What do we think about that? Does that seem like a good gauge? Actually, let's just look. Let's pull it back up and look. You vote for a fox farm? Am I gonna have to kill the foxes though? Because that would suck. And is it like, does it have to do with the peaceful mob spawn? Like maybe I'd have to probably build it on the biome. Okay, you know what? Let's consider. Let's think this through. You're voting for the fox farm. I mean, it would be an epic comeback. I really haven't either, because I mean, because sometimes a fox will spawn with an emerald, right? So that's what it is, right? The fox spawns with an emerald, you whack the fox, I assume, and then get Secret Friday update. What does that mean? And then, you know, slowly collect emeralds. Like, that's a lot of fox murder, and the fox are pretty cute. I assume they have to die, because otherwise they just lag you out. I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen a fox spawn with an emerald, so I don't actually know how rare that is. Alright, let's look at this. Okay, so it is under 50. Significantly, it's like half of 50. All right, let's look up a fox farm. Let's see. Minecraft 119 fox farm. Okay, there are some videos. All right. I think is there like is it all videos? 119 Skyblock, Emerald Fox Farm. Okay, I'll do some research. We'll see how it goes. See how achievable it is, and see if we can't get unstuck. I mean, it's such a long shot. Like, when do I give up? Because it's not just the emeralds, right? Like, I mean, it does solve the emerald problem that the villagers would be doing. So we could trade with the wandering trader for all of his stuff. But we aren't going to have, like, the diamond stuff. I wonder if there's a way to get diamonds from the overworld, or if the only way you can get it in Skyblock is by trading. All right, I'll do some research. That's what I'll do, and we'll decide. So next time, we may be yeah. So I'm gonna do some research and see. Next time we'll either be building the fox farm or we'll be starting over. I think I'll be better at it this time, but yeah. Man, that's heartbreaking. I'm so mad at myself. But also, why you only give me 10 of a single? I wonder, hang on. What I'll also do is check to see if there are any other lava sources in the overworld, or if there is only the one. Because if there's an island somewhere with lava, that also could help. So, we'll figure it out. I like how the instructions on this were like, oh, and you can find a mansion and stuff eventually too. And they were like, I don't see it. Where would I go? And they're like, oh, you need the elytra, of course. And I'm like, okay, so that's end game. Whatever. Because don't the mansion, like the pillager mansions, don't they sometimes have lava, or am I making that up? I don't know. So, I know villages sometimes do, but I don't know that there's an island that has a village on it. So, let's see. Alright, so that's the plan. We've got a plan. I'm going to do some research. I'm so sad. I am having the worst luck with obsidian. Because my first 2 attempts at this were blocked because I accidentally turned my lava source into obsidian, and now I've placed obsidian down even after I'm saying, oh, I have to be really careful. I just like the 3 wide, and I did it out of habit, not remembering that you can do a 2 wide and not bothering to count what that would mean, and yeah, that sucks. Although that does mean that if I restart, I can build a different mob farm, because I don't like my mob farm right now because of the whole under it's like a cave, right? So I've got bats and glow squid spawning. So you know what, we learned a lot, so if we have to restart, it's fine. But yeah, I'll look up at the fox farm. Alright, so that's it. What a tragic way to end the stream. I'm so mad at myself. I was making such good progress, but I'm gonna sadly eat the rest of my muffin, call it good, and then I don't have any decaf tea at the moment. I could use a cup of tea, but no, it's all caffeinated, and that's a terrible idea. So D, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with me during my stream. Watching me make a terrible fatal error. Very depressing. Yeah. Thanks everybody. Have a good night. And enjoy your Sunday. Bye.